Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome to a Focus on Business. We have got a special guest in here tonight, and the reason that we brought him in, well, he paid for this segment, so that's the reason we brought him in. But the reason we're airing this now is, guess what time it is? It's hurricane season. Holy crap. This is Daniel Weaver. He is with Roofing and Construction Contractors of America. And you know what? What better person to have on is somebody that can tell us about our roofs before and after. Because with us, with being in Florida, we're heat, right? So I guess the roofs cook a lot more than they do out west and up north and up and east. So our expectancy of a roof is not as long as, say a house in the Midwest.
Correct.
Okay, because it's just cooking. So Daniel is with RRCA. Let's do it, because that's Roofing and Construction Contractors of America. That's a mouthful.
Yes, sir.
So Daniel, what got you into this world?
I used to sell automobiles for Chevrolet and Toyota for about 12 years, and I just had an episode one night where I woke up in the middle of the night thinking that I was going to have a heart attack, and I ended up in the emergency room and got down there and spent the evening with those folks, and found out that the automobile world was causing me a lot of stress, and they suggested I get out of the business, so I began looking around.
Okay.
Yeah. I was online sending out resumes one day, and I saw the ad for this job, and it was for a project manager is what the title actually was, and I knew it had something to do with roofing, so I fired him a resume. And I sat back and thought about that for a few minutes, and I thought, you know what, I don't think I actually want to do that. So I picked up the phone and I called this company and I said, hey, just tear up that resume. I don't think I want anything to do with roofing because I'm getting too old for that. And they asked me to come in and talk to them, and they explained to me what the job was, and I've been there ever since then.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's, to me, just by you telling me that, because you called and said, hey, look, you know what, I don't want to do this, tear that up. You know, you could have just ignored their phone calls or ignored their emails, but it sounds like to me you got a little bit of integrity, which is a good thing in today. And actually, that's a very strong thing in that industry, because there are those people that come out there and see a little fold of a shingle. Oh yeah, you need a whole new roof.
Sure. And
that's not something you guys do.
No, we don't. We wouldn't waste your time with that. If we call you out and the roof's not damaged, they're just going to come out and tell us it's not damaged. And therefore, we've wasted our time and yours as well.
Right.
If I come and inspect your roof, if it's not damaged, I will come down and tell you that everything looks fine and you're going to be okay. Otherwise, I'll bring photos down and show them to you at your kitchen table, and you can see the damage with your own eyes. And then I'll ask you if you would like to move forward with it if you want to.
Right. Now, okay, so I'm on their website. Hopefully Rob will just put that up on the back for us real quick when he gets a chance. Sometimes when you deal, we didn't talk about this, and I'm going to throw you a curveball, but I don't think it's a bad curveball. Okay. So a lot of times you get these roofer guys that come in and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can do the roof, man. We're good," blah, blah, and they're a local company. And there's nothing wrong with local companies, right?
Nope.
But sometimes these local companies, they don't have the backing. They may not be well funded, and they're really relying on their clients job by job by job. You guys are national.
We are.
I mean, you're big boys.
We are.
So when you come in, you got the backing of, hey, look, this is what I can do, this is what I say I can do, and this is how I can do it. By golly, you're going to do it.
Yes, and we're going to do it faster than most of the companies in the area. Believe it or not, John, the local guys, a lot of them are great, and a lot of them have integrity, and a lot of them do great jobs.
I'm not saying, I'm not taking that away from them at all.
I'll never bash that, but because they're local and they're smaller teams, they're so busy, you'll see if you call some of them, they're going to tell you it could be a year or two before they could even put a roof on for you. I can do one in 2 weeks from now. That's the enormity of our company. We have over 300 roofers available to help us at all times.
That's amazing.
Yes,
sir. And because I think right now you guys are still up in the Panhandle, right?
Yeah, we're up there helping Panama City with the last hurricane that they had. They got destroyed, so half of our team is up there putting that back together.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about RRCA.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. So. Sure. Where are they at? Where they're located? What can you handle?
Yeah, they've been in business for 6 years. We are in 12 states right now. In the state of Florida, we're in Panama City, Daytona, Cape Coral, and Fort Myers. We are a national company. We have guys working on hailstorms in the Midwest right now. We have guys working the hurricanes here. We're everywhere. We're all over the country. We're in Texas. And we've been in business a long time, guys. Most contractors that open a shop, it's a known fact that if they make it past 2 years, they're probably going to be okay. A lot of them don't make it more than a couple of years.
Right.
And you also got to be careful that that they've been around, and two, that they're licensed, that they're bonded, and that they're insured. If they get up on your roof and they're not, and somebody falls and gets hurt on your property, that would be a real problem for.
So that's your homeowner insurance instead of their insurance.
Yes.
Oh my, that's
Yes.
that is not that is so out west and all this flooding and stuff, all these hurricane or not hurricane, but the tornadoes and stuff like that. That's kind of right up your, I hate to say the word alley because it's
Tornado alley,
alley,
sure.
So, but you handle that kind of damage here too. So if
Yes.
I know a couple of weeks ago in just a little Newport Richie over here, we had an F0 tornado, did a lot of damage to people.
Sure.
So if I start seeing, oh, you know what, I got peeling or it's kind of shifted some of the roofing tiles, I kind of need to give you a call.
Yes. Yes. Now everybody thinks it has to be a hurricane. It doesn't have to be just a hurricane. You have homeowners insurance regardless. Hurricane differentiates just a little bit on the deductible side. If it's just a normal homeowners, your deductible will be a little bit lower. But if you file a hurricane claim, it's a percentage of the price of your home, which drives that deductible up higher than it would normally be.
And a normal storm can do damage to your roof.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
like say you got a big one, because I'm telling you, our thunderstorms that come through Florida, it might as well be a tornado because it's 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds just from the storm itself. We get the hail, we get the heavy sideways rains, which is taking those tiles and are the shingles, and they're just folding those things up. And so okay. Do you do home inspections for the roofs?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So would it be good to say that once a year or every 2 years have a roof inspection?
Yeah, especially if you had storms going over your area. Guys, you can't see these problems from the ground. I've had so many people stand in their front yard and look up and say, I don't see anything wrong up there. And when we got up there, there was major problems on the roof. You just can't see it. And be careful. We've had people fall off of these roofs. They're slippery. Some of them have dangerous pitches. A pitch is just the angle of the roof, guys, and anything that's over a 5 pitch, the state of Florida requires a harness. So if your roof is greater than a 5, I wouldn't get on it for anything without a harness on, because you can slide right off of that roof and get killed. So, call us out and let us climb the roof for you. We have tools to make sure we're safe and don't get up and hurt yourself. But yes, hail, for instance, you can't see it from the ground at all. No. A shingle is a piece of asphalt with granules of rock poured over hot asphalt, and then it dries. When a hailstone comes down, it hits that shingle and it busts the granules right off the top of it, and it exposes the asphalt underneath it as a little black spot, and that's what you'll see. Now, once that happens, over time, it's gonna heat and cool, and expansion and contraction is gonna work on that hole now, and it's gonna begin to crack right there where the hail hit it. And once it cracks, which it will, the water will begin to find its way in.
Right.
So it's going to be a leak situation somewhere in the near future. So absolutely, at least once a year, have your roof maintenance check done just to be safe.
So what makes you guys different? What makes RRCA different from all the other guys?
We're bigger, we're well funded, we're fast, we're licensed, we're bonded, we're well known. We use the best materials there is, and there's a bunch of us. If you call me, we'll be out by tomorrow. We're not going to tell you we'll be out next month or next week. We'll be out maybe today, but for sure no later than tomorrow. Right. That's what makes us different.
So I love that Johnny on the spot type of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually. Now, how do you figure out what load or what type of roofing material can go on a house? I mean, can I? So if I've got shingle today, can I go? Oh, I want tile tomorrow.
No.
See, I knew you couldn't do it. I had a friend goes, oh yeah, you can just put whatever you want to. I'm like, no, it has to be built for it, right?
It has to be built for it, yes, sir. The concrete tiles are very, very heavy because they're concrete, and there's tonnage of weight on the roof that is holding a tile roof. So that house has to be built by code just to handle the weight of that roof. Now, you can take tile off and go to metal or shingle, and there's even a product called Tilcord that's a metal that looks like a shingle that's lighter, and you can use all those.
I seen that at the home show.
Yes.
You had that. That's cool looking.
It is. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And we'll show you some pictures of that. But you can use those other products, but no, you cannot take a shingle roof off and then put a ton of concrete on top of it. It can't be done.
Right.
They won't. They just won't do it.
It just can't hold that load.
And guys, in Florida, it isn't like this in the Midwest, but it is here because of the hurricane situation. When we tear a roof off here, they make us stop and they come in and inspect it to make sure that we've underlayment the drying process correctly. And then when we put the roof on, they come back and they inspect it a second time to make sure it's done to code. And that's because of the hurricanes here.
Right.
That was not like that in the Midwest, but here, people say, well, you're going to do it right. I guarantee we're going to do it right because Florida code folks are going to come right behind us to make sure we're doing it right.
Right.
So we have to do it right.
See, now to me, it goes back to that whole integrity thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you to make sure the right product's on there for the right situation.
Yes. And I want to brag for 1 second. We've done over 360 roofs and counting in Southwest Florida right now, and we've done over 60 million in roofs in this area. And you don't get to those numbers or that amount of money without doing things.
You got to have quality people.
You got to have quality people, and you got to do things right. You got to be honest.
Stand behind your
Yes.
product. That's
Yes, sir.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
All right, so when we come back, because we've only got a couple of minutes left,
Sure.
we're going to talk about the residential world
Okay.
and roofing because that I have tons of questions. I hit him with 3 questions. We didn't even talk about pre-show. So you're thinking that's when I got more stuff coming. So you know what? Go grab yourself either some coffee or some wine or a beer. Sit back and we'll let the man talk about residential roofs when we get back. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Awesome.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, everybody, we're back. So now, yes, it's hurricane season, and we're going to talk about residential because the residential world is way different than the commercial world, because with the residential side, you have tons of different options.
We do.
So let's talk about the options of roofs, especially in Florida.
Okay.
So let's talk about the materials first.
Okay. Well, the three kind of materials that we're seeing on roofs mostly right now are shingles, asphalt shingles, concrete, tile, and metal. Those are the three main ones. The best two for Florida, of course, the shingles aren't the best. They're going to last the least amount of time. And by the way, shingles in the Midwest are warranted for 35 years.
Right.
In Florida, they're warranted for 25 years just because of the heat and the hurricane factor is just so much greater here.
Okay.
So if you're going to do it, I would recommend a concrete tile or a metal roof. That would, those are lifetime roofs.
Okay.
They're guaranteed for a lifetime. Even though we're seeing the concrete roofs, a hurricane hits them, it can damage them, but we do see a lot of them that have survived 30, 35 years.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them have been up there. A lot of them are original to the homes.
Now, is that actual true concrete, or is that a what do they call that? Terracotta tile?
It's a terracotta tile, but it's similar to concrete, and it's
got
heavy like concrete.
It's heavy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's sand, it's water, and all the different styles that you see, there's a company called Burrell, and those different styles are all made of the same stuff.
Oh, okay.
They're different shapes,
Right.
but just like a brick. You can make a round brick, a square brick, a rectangle brick, but it's still a brick. It's just made of the same stuff, just shaped differently. All the tiles you see on roofs are the same.
Okay. And what about? Okay, so let's just jump over to the asphalt shingles.
Okay.
Now, is it still? I mean, my day when I grew up, I helped churches, and you go help somebody in their roof, and you just these things were just made of tar and sand.
Yeah.
Is that still the same thing?
Well, they're asphalt. They're rubberized asphalt. The membrane under them is called ice and water here in Florida, and it's a thick membrane. And I'm telling you, if we had a piece of it here on the table, I'm a big guy. I can't tear it. You can't tear it.
Oh, okay.
If we tear a roof off and put nothing but the underlayment on, or the ice and water shield, and dry it, we call that drying it in. That house could sit there without shingles on it for a half a year, and it will not leak.
Really?
Yeah, the shingles aren't keeping the house from leaking. The underlayment is. The shingles are just there to protect the underlayment and make the roof look pretty.
Okay.
Really?
Oh.
That's the main thing.
Wow.
The
All right.
underlayment's the
I
important
learned
part.
something today. I thought the shingles themselves was the barrier.
No.
Okay, so there's a different. Okay, so I have done a little bit, but so it's no longer that tar paper that people
No,
put down.
it's not. It's called peel and stick, and it's called ice and water, and it's, like I said, rubberized membrane, and it's not porous. It won't leak. Nothing's going through it, and you can't tear it. This stuff's incredible.
Now, when you nail through the shingle, what does that do? Does it just goes in goop wise? And
The shingle will
that's awesome.
stick around it, because it's hot.
Right.
The tar of the shingle will just bond around the nail.
Oh, that is absolutely.
Now, what we're seeing here in Southwest Florida is because of the hurricanes, folks, especially the shingle roofs. The tile roofs, you can look up and you can actually see some of them that are broke from the ground. You can see it better from the roof view, but from the ground you can. But the shingles, those are the ones that are really elusive. You can't see nothing up there. But I was just on one yesterday, and when you get up on these, 130-mile-an-hour winds have blown over these roofs. And what they've done, the shingles got lifted when that went over for hours. And when it ended, they laid back down. But now they're not stuck anymore. They're just laying there. They've been zipped up. And I can go up on a roof right now and grab a shingle. And, if you know anything about roofing, a shingle should be so tight on the roof that it should make your fingers bleed if you try to make one come up with your fingers.
Okay.
When I can go up and lift one and shake it, and the one above it and the one above it and the one above it all come up with it, that's a problem. It's called zipping, and sometimes it'll go all the way up the roof, all the way up to the ridge cap. One whole row has been zipped up. There's no shingles missing, but it is unzipped, which means the next time it rains at 30, 40-mile-an-hour winds are going to slide right up under those shingles, and they're going to find their way in eventually.
I'll be.
That's what's
and
happening.
that's only you. I mean, you got to get up there and inspect that. You can't see that stuff.
No, and we've gotten many roofs approved from just the zipping factor. You won't see no missing shingles, but if they're loose, they're not supposed to be loose. And if they are, you are going to leak. It's just a matter of time.
Matter of time.
Guarantee it.
I'll be.
Yeah, I had a guy a month ago, and this particular gentleman, I had an adjuster with me that day that said, no, I don't think this is a problem. There's no missing shingles. And I told him he is going to leak soon. And the guy said, no, I'm not going to approve it, and he didn't. 2 weeks later, the homeowner called me and asked me to come over there, and his whole dining room ceiling was wet now. Oh. And we're asking for a second adjuster meeting, and we're going to object to this because he's leaking inside. Water doesn't come into your dining room without a problem with your roof happening. That's right. It's the corporate, and I knew it was going to do it. Yeah, and it did.
Now you were telling me about a story about a gentleman that had some roof damage, and you're actually I'm gonna have Rob put that video up behind us here. Oh, yeah. That you were in the area, you kind of look. Oh, you're like, ooh. So you went and talked to him. First, he's like, salesman, get off my property, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Tell me about this guy.
Yeah, this gentleman owns a flight school out of Fort Myers, Florida. I won't say his name or address, but anyway.
No, it's fine.
He's out in his driveway on Saturday afternoon varnishing a door, and I walked up on him, and he couldn't hear me because he was running his tool. And I cleared my throat, and it startled him, and I could tell he wasn't real happy that I was in the yard there with him. And I began to ask him, I said, I noticed your roof looks a little weathered and wore. Would you like me to take a look at it? Because that's what I do. I do free inspections. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, I'll tell you, I already had a guy out here. They inspected it. They kind of turned it down. As you can see here, it's a very, very large roof. This project was $101,000 is what it cost to replace that roof. Yes.
Tile, obviously.
Concrete tile from Burrell, yes. And
okay.
They said he wasn't damaged enough to replace it, so they gave him a $3,000 check and told him to patch it. So he let me go up and look at it. I did. There was lots of broken tiles, and I took very close pictures of those tiles for evidence. And then I actually took one of the tiles with me that he had in his garage. I didn't take it off his roof, but he had a new one in the garage. And I mailed it into ITEL, and they said they don't even make these tiles anymore. This tile cannot be matched. So we couldn't replace it with what was on there, so we didn't have any choice but to replace this roof. 2 weeks after I was there, the gentleman was mailed a check for $93,000. They didn't even come back out for a second inspection. They paid him just off of the evidence that I presented to them. Right. This only cost him his deductible, which was $6,400. He got a $101,000 roof for $6,400, and he agrees that that was a pretty good deal for him. And my wife and I are going flying in one of his small planes this week. He's going to fly us up and down the coast of Florida as a thank you to me for getting him a roof for $6,400.
See, that's awesome. But that's the difference. That's the difference between knowing your industry and not knowing your industry. You saw it, and you knew, and then when you talked to him, you knew, like, oh my God, this is crazy. He should have gotten way more, and that should have been replaced.
Yes.
Folks, I'm telling you, when you're dealing with people, especially business people, you need to know that they know what they're talking about.
Sure.
Because that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Consider this: if I wouldn't have walked up to him and talked to him that day, he thought because he was turned down that was the end of this. He didn't know there was a second or third chance. And folks, last year, 80% of the roofs that we got approved in Southwest Florida were approved on the second and third inspection. 60% of you folks are being turned down on the first pass. It's very common. Yeah. Very common. Yeah. If he wouldn't have called on me to do that, he may not have gotten that roof replaced himself, and he might have had to buy that roof all by himself.
So let's talk about metal roofs.
Okay.
Okay, because you said shingles, not the greatest, but it's what most of us have.
Sure.
But then we talked about the concrete, because those are concrete. Those are it's concrete.
Right.
So now there's two types of metal, right? There's the aluminum, or is it steel? And then there's the coated metal.
The stone-coated steel.
Let's talk about those.
Okay.
Because they're cool looking.
Yeah. The aluminum, the flat roof that you see, that most people you see when you drive by, they just look like a flat metal roof with some edging on it. They're not super attractive. They're all different colors, and they work well against the Florida hurricanes. They're rated for high wind ratings. They're lifetime warranties. But the one that I'm super excited about right now is a company called Tilcor. Tilcor is a stone-coated steel panel that's very lightweight. It's 8 different layers. It's the purest form of metal made, and it comes from New Zealand. This company was 2012 or something. They've been around for like 80-something years.
Right.
And they started out as I think it was a concrete company, and they transitioned into this. But right now they're in 80 countries. And what's really neat about Tilcor is those folks that like shingles, you can have Tilcor stamped to look like a shingle. Those of you who like wooden shake, Tilcor has a panel that's stamped to look like a wooden shake. And those of you who like concrete tiles, we have Tilcors that are stamped to look like a concrete tile. But they're all very thin, 8 layers thin, very light, high wind rating. They will not burn. Hail won't hurt them.
Right.
And they have a 50-year warranty. It's the greatest warranty on the market today. And they're in 80 countries and growing. And we have it available today. We can get it. Burrell, they're a big company, but they're one of the only companies that carry the concrete tile. So we got to wait months to get it. Tilcor is available right here. And they have specialized installers that only put on Tilcor, and we have those guys available. If you want Tilcor, we'll have those guys come out and install this. It's a wonderful product.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we may actually come back and just hit a little bit more on residential because we didn't get everything out that you guys do. Because I want to talk about these built-up roof systems with the polyurethane foam and so for all those flat roofers. So not flat earthers, flat roofers. So we'll be right back after this. Go get yourself something to drink, and we'll be right back.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, everybody, we're back. So we left off on the shingles, we left off on metal, and we did concrete. And now you also, Midwest more than here, probably the more than north, is the stone and the natural slate and composite slates. Mm-hmm. All right, and then of course they help you if you got a flat roof, which we all if we all have older homes here in Florida, they can actually come in and you guys can fix that little bit of a flat roof.
We
thing.
can.
It's a built-up roof system is what it's
We
called.
can build it up on one end.
Right, so that it drains a little bit better and stops leaking into your sunrooms.
That's
Because
correct.
typically that's where it's all is, the sunrooms.
Sure.
Or it's a roof. But let's talk about no roof left behind.
Yes. We're on a mission right now, and we know that we only got a year left. The clock is ticking, so we only have so much time, and it takes time for all this to unfold. When you decide to go ahead and have this looked at, if we're going to help you with our services, we need to come out and inspect your roof. We're going to encourage you to file a claim. We're going to meet your adjuster and get on the roof and prove to him our findings, and we're going to encourage them to fund the project for you. Your only responsibility in this would just be a deductible, and that's all. But it takes time. It takes time for this to unfold.
It doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight, and like I said, the clock is ticking. So the sooner you get in it, get started, the sooner we can make sure that you're not going to miss your boat, as they say.
Okay, and you fight for the client.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
So if you get some guy coming and goes, nah, those things are fine.
Right.
I don't know what their guy was talking about. You're up there going, no, this is what we're talking about.
That's correct. And we're going to come down with evidence, photos, documentation of all kind. We're going to check your tiles to see if they can be replaced. And if they come down and say that the roof is not damaged, and it is, we're going to object, because we're here as your advocate. We're here to make sure that that client is treated properly, because they deserve to be. They've been paying premiums their whole lives, and we're here to protect our clients. That's what our whole job is about. And there's no charge for our services. And the cool thing about this, John, is if you did call me out, and let's just say that they did turn us down and we didn't get anywhere and we just weren't able to get them to do it, when it's all over, we're going to shake your hand and say thanks for letting us try, but you're never going to get a bill from RRCA. We don't bill people.
Wow, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So I was going to hold off on the insurance side of it, but the insurance side of it is they can come to you later down the road and say, hey, by the way, you need to go fix that roof.
Yes. If you neglect to file a claim, or let's say you did file a claim and you were told that you're okay, and you never got on the roof to look to see if that was completely true yourself, and now you've taken that as gospel, and you say, okay, I'm just gonna hope for the best, and the time window closes to where you can no longer file a claim. That insurance company now has a right to come out to you and say, your roof is damaged and we do not want to insure this home any longer because of the shape of the roof, and we need you, the client, to replace that roof, or we have the right to drop you. That happens.
Wow.
Yes. So, if you've had an inspection and you didn't see it yourself and you're not sure, especially if all your neighbors around you are being replaced and you're not, you might want to get us up there and get a second opinion. I mean, if you go see a doctor and he tells you you're going to die, you don't accept that right as gospel. You want to say, let's get a second opinion. And that's what we are. We're the second opinion. And guys, you wouldn't believe how many people that we have helped that thought they didn't have any damage, but they did. And we found it on the second look.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's jump over to, you do commercial work as well.
Yes, sir, we do. We do. We have a commercial division. All of our guys are potential commercial reps. We all work with commercial. Some. It's a little tougher to work with commercial just because the owners of the buildings aren't around. But absolutely, anybody who's out there who hasn't had an inspection on their building, especially with the kind of investment that a business is.
Right.
Some of these roofs are multi-million-dollar roofs, and if you haven't had those checked, by all means, do yourself a favor and have someone or have us come out and look at it for you, because if it is damaged, I'm sure you business owners who are watching this know what a roof on a large business might cost. So we can work with any kind of roof, commercial roof, residential roof. It doesn't matter what it's made of or where it is. It doesn't matter if it's 40 stories or 2 stories. We can help you.
Are the commercial roofs primarily flat roofs?
Yes, they are. And we have, we bring out drones. We actually have a machine that's a roof lifter. They can put this machine up there and pull up on the roof to see if there's moisture under it. They cut into the roof and pull it out. They have infrared cameras that they bring out. If you call us out to inspect your commercial roof, one guy doesn't show up. There's going to be 10 of us that are going to come out, and a whole team of men are going to come out and inspect that roof very thoroughly for you.
Wow.
Yes. So when it's over, you would have a real nice documented inspection for your roof that wouldn't cost you a dime. And then you would know. At least you'll know if you need help. And if you do, we can work with your insurance company just like on a residential job. That's
absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
See, look, again, it goes back to knowing who you know.
Yes.
Right? And the people that are coming out, and I speak from experience. We were in a building once a couple years ago, and they sent the inspector guy. One guy shows up. He goes up there with a ladder. He prods and pokes and then he's walking around. He's stomping a little bit, and he wasn't even up there an hour. Yeah. And he comes in. Oh man, you're just fine. You got years life on that. That very July, when the rains hit. Yeah, we weren't fine. We had leaks everywhere.
Yeah.
And it literally shut down half that business or that building for almost 6 months.
See, that's unacceptable.
And it took that guy forever and then we went back to the guy and go, "Hey, what happened to we're okay?" Well, I can't see everything.
Right, sure.
Well, wait a minute. You didn't test for this because now you're telling me what you guys do. This guy didn't do any of that.
Sure.
At all. So you got to know who's coming out to see you guys.
Yes, and that's where I come in. When you have me come out, they're not going to be there alone. When they come out, I'm going to be there with them, and we're going to make sure that they get up on that roof, and we're going to take them right to the damage, and we're going to put their feet to the fire, and we're going to make them notice it.
That's awesome.
That's what we do.
That is absolutely. So when it comes to insurance, fighting the insurance company seems to be just that's just the most grinding thing for a homeowner or a commercial owner for a roof, because it just seems like they fight you. You guys go to bat for everybody.
We do. And guys, here's the beauty of this. You start the claim. I'm not allowed to make a call for you, but you can make the call while I'm there. I'll go up on your roof. If I see damage, I'll tell you. Pick up your phone. I'll sit right there with you when you call that claim in. But once the claim starts, once they give you a claim number, and the process begins, the only thing that you're going to need to do with us is to sit there for that 5 minutes and call in and tell them I've had my roof inspected, it has damage, and I'd like to file a claim. And that's all you're going to have to do. Once that happens, when he comes out to get on the roof, I'm going to be there. If he says no to you, I'm going to be there. If we have to fight, I'm going to be there. If we get it approved, I'm going to be there to help you pick colors. I'm going to have the crew put the roof on for you. Your only job is to make that call, and you can sit back and have a cup of coffee until this thing is completely done. We will handle it from step A to step B. Front to back, top to bottom, we'll do all of it for you. It completely takes the stress out of this for you. We'll handle the stress. This is what we do, and they know us. We talk to these insurance companies every day. Call any of them and ask them if they know who RRCA is. They'll tell you, yeah, we know who they are. We talk to them on a daily basis. I'm not sure if they like us real well, but they know who we are.
It's good that they're scared of you. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I also, I'm looking, because I got their website up because I don't know everything about everybody, and I always rely on their website. Now, I also see you guys do some siding and gutters if you have to.
Yes, we do. If we need to, we do. Hail can damage gutters and siding. Most of the houses that have roof damage, the gutters are damaged.
Right.
We got to pull the gutters down on a roof job no matter what. But I would say 80% of the time we end up replacing the gutters for you. And this is a chance, this is a chance for you to change the colors, change the color on the. This is a chance to make the whole house look like a new house, which is a great thing for you guys. It's an exciting thing. The customers, I can always tell they're afraid when this first starts. They're not sure what to think, but when this thing finally unfolds and it comes to an end and the house is standing tall, the property value is back up to its full potential.
Right.
We're getting cookies and cards from people, and they're not afraid anymore. And next thing you know, I'm getting calls from their neighbors and their friends wanting us to come and do theirs as well. This is a very safe process. There's nothing to be afraid of. No one's going to hurt anybody. And once again, there's no bill for it all. That's the best part of this. There's no cost. I mean, you have the choice to wait till the roof falls apart and you miss your window and buy it yourself, or you can call us out, let us get involved, and we'll fight for you all the way, and we'll get it paid for you.
So, if I have, let's go back to hail real quick.
Okay.
So hail, over time, if that keeps hitting that membrane and it keeps hitting the asphalt, or does it now? Will that is it better? Is it better to call you immediately and go, hey, we just had a big hailstorm?
Yes, it
Let
would
you
be.
come out
Yes,
instead of going, hey, I think I got something wrong up there.
No.
Buckling in a roof, not good, right?
Not good. The sheeting underneath is something's wrong. There's a leak or something. If you got buckling, you either got a ventilation problem or you got a leak on that roof that's getting onto the decking underneath the underlayment.
So okay, so I think we have 1 minute left, and then we'll come back and talk about some even more stuff. Solar panels on the roof.
I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm on them every single day, and I have never been on one yet that a family that had solar panels was happy with it. They all say they would never do it again.
Right.
I don't have them on my home, but I've been on hundreds that do, and every family says, I wish we'd have never put those darn things on our roof. They're causing trouble everywhere.
It's like having a sunroof in a car. It's not if it's going to leak, it's when is it going to start leaking?
And when a roof project comes along, which it's going to sometime in the life of that house,
right,
that panel is going to be a real pain in the in the wallet.
All right, everybody. So we're going to take one more break. Come back. We're going to wrap it up with Daniel. So we're going to make sure that you know how to get a hold of him, how to find him, how to hire him, and why. Ultimately, again, why you need a professional. We'll be right back.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, everybody. Last segment. We're here with Daniel Weaver, RRCA. Okay, let's one more time. Why should people use you guys? Why should people call Daniel Weaver from RRCA?
Well, several reasons, John. One of the main ones is, I would say, is because we're very fast and efficient. We're going to get out to you in a timely manner. Two, we're a large company. We carry the best products with the best warranties available in the industry today. 3, we can do roofing projects faster than most companies in the area. I can roof a shingle roof in 2 weeks. I can probably do a concrete tile roof probably within 60 days. And the only reason that takes a little longer is because we got to order the concrete
You got to
tile.
wait for that stuff to actually come in sometime. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
we're one of the few companies. A lot of the roofing companies come out just to give you an estimate. They just want to sell you a roof. That's all they're trying to do. They're not going to help you get an award to fund the project. My job is I'm going to get it funded for you. Would you rather buy it or would you rather have it funded for you?
There's a big difference there.
A real big difference.
Huge difference.
Yes. So, we've done over 10,000 insurance claims here in Southwest Florida, and all those people got their projects funded by their insurance company. That's why I would call me. We're licensed, we're bonded, we're insured, we're big, we're fast, and we're highly trained with insurance companies.
All right, so that alone is, to me, they already, when you call and go, I'm dealing with RRCA. Okay, we know those guys.
Yes.
There's no BS.
No.
Right.
Nope.
So, folks, Saturday began our season for hurricanes.
Yes.
Okay, and it's not just the hurricanes that we have to worry about because those are a one-time event. We get rains.
Yes.
When we get rains, we get tropical downpours and
Yes,
sideways winds. So right now, you should be picking the phone up and calling Daniel. We're going to make sure his number goes up and getting an inspection done now.
Yeah, before the rainy season hits, it's imperative because if you guys wait until the rains get here, the bad news is going to show up in your living room or dining room or in your bedroom somewhere. And by then, now the damage is extensive and it's going to cost a lot more and take a lot more time.
Right.
We can inspect you in 30 minutes. I can be out and look at your roof in a 30-minute period. It doesn't take a lot of time to assess the damage for you. So feel free to reach out to us. Can I say my number?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can reach me at 239-671-9088, or you can reach me online at daniel.roofingpro@gmail.com.
You actually gave him your cell number. That's awesome.
Yes, I did. Yes.
What's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding.
No, you can call my house. It's
That's
okay.
awesome. Okay, so now you're looking for people.
I am. We are. We're recruiting guys, and I want to tell you, I'm from the Midwest, and our company is in the Midwest. I've been with this company for 3 years, one of the greatest companies I've ever been with in my life. And I want to tell you, the money that can be made here, this is a lucrative position. But it's also a position that you have to, it is what you make it. If you come down here and have a good attitude and a good work ethic and you go to work, and you come in with the attitude that you're going to learn everything and you're going to show up to meetings and put into place the tools that we have for you to make this work, then it will work. But a guy here has so much freedom that it could also fail. If you come down and decide not to work, well, this is one of those jobs where it's kind of up to you. We'll give you all the tools you need, but then you got to go apply them. And if you will, you can make a very strong 6-figure income here and have more time off than you've ever had at any other job. I'm completely free. I come and go as I please. Some days I inspect 4 houses, some days I inspect 1, some days I don't inspect any. I do whatever I please. But I promise you, the money is good and there's so much work here. So don't be afraid to try. This is a really, really neat position for the right kind of guy that has freedom in mind and would like to make himself a lot of money.
Are you looking for any particular areas in Florida?
Any particular what?
Areas in Florida?
Well, we're in Southwest is where the blunt of us are. We're Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral. Those are the main areas that we're located in now.
Can I do in the Keys?
Yeah.
I'll sell in the Keys for you.
Yeah, well, sure. We would, if we get a few guys that was devoted, if the damage is there, we would open an office. I mean, we would. We're capable of doing that.
So you're telling me that if you found a good person in Tampa that could do this for you, you'd open up an office in Tampa?
If the damage is here.
If the damage
If
is
there's
here.
damage if it warrants coming in this direction, absolutely.
That's
But we
absolutely
would want to come up and look at it
Right.
and make sure it's here first. That's how we do this. We fly around. We
Right.
look at areas, and if the work is there, we'll open an office and go to work.
That is absolutely. Now, where can people find you? Like online.
Online,
It's roofingprofessionals.com.
roofingprofessionals.com.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Or
That's
like
okay.
I said, you can reach me at my personal email at daniel.roofingpro@gmail.com, or feel free to reach out to my personal cell, it's on at all times, and I will always answer my phone. If I didn't, just leave me a message, and I will get back to you pretty quick. Area code 239-671-9088.
So if I call you today, if I call one of you guys today, I'll call you.
Sure.
I can expect to see you within, let's just say tomorrow.
If I can, I'm going to, I'll never push it any, I'm going to tell you a quick story if I can.
Absolutely, we got time.
I had a lady call me, somebody called me and gave me a lead. They said, hey, a lady in an apartment complex wants to talk to you about 7 buildings. And I was busy that day, but I called her immediately. And I said, hey, ma'am, I'll be happy to come look at those 7 buildings for you. I said, could I do it tomorrow at 2 o'clock? And she said, sure. And I said, okay, consider, I'll see you tomorrow. And I was very excited. I called the office and said, hey, I just got a lead for 7 buildings, and I'm just so excited. Well, about 2 hours later, that lady called me back. I didn't know she was on the phone calling around, and she called several different places, and she found a guy that would come out right now. And she called me about 2 or 3 hours later and told me she had signed up with those guys, and they're gonna re-roof all 7 of her buildings. And anyway, that won't happen again.
It's amazing. Answering that phone.
Yes.
Answering that phone's a big deal. Yeah, I mean, we've called people, and I've made. Matter of fact, I just went through this yesterday. I had a friend of mine that needed an attorney, so I go, here you go, here's an attorney. They didn't answer the phone. Yeah. So he called me back. I said, well, here's another guy. Call this guy. Yeah. That guy answers his phone. Guess what? He got the job. Yes. You know, it's absolutely amazing. And you guys are just, I'm amazed how big you are. I didn't realize. So I'm just on their website now, which is roofingprofessionals.com, right? And you guys are everywhere.
Yeah, we're big.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Multi-million-dollar company.
20 years old, I think is what it said. You guys are 1993 is when you guys opened up.
And Lee Haight is one of the owners. Him and his dad, Donnie Haight, they own this place. Donnie's from Texas. Lee is from Naples. And I have the privilege of working out of that office with Lee and his wife and his children. And this man is so, I've never met a man that's so passionate about what he does. This is all he does. He eats and sleeps roofing, and his family does as well.
Wow. Let's talk about some of us real quick because we got about 4 minutes left.
Sure.
Let's talk about the actual product line that you guys carry.
Burrell. Yep. Concrete tile. Tilcor.
I've heard, Tilcor I've heard of as a kid. I even knew who Tilcor was.
They've been around forever. Yeah, forever, and they're growing fast. And Landmark Certainty is our shingle line that we use.
Now you tell me about something about the Certainty line.
Certainty, they're shingles. They're asphalt shingles. They in the Midwest, a lifetime warranty is 35 years, but because of the conditions in Florida, the highest warranty you can get on any shingle is 25 years, and that's what these are. And they're also wind rated for 130 mile an hour. They're architectural shingles, and they're good looking shingles. They're really nice looking. And a lot of families, most families have a Certainty on their houses. Okay. Even today, that's just, it's a common brand. Right. The Midwest, the whole Midwest is covered in Certainty, Landmark Certainty.
Got it. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back to something real quick because I think there's something that needs to be talked about one more time. No roof left behind.
Yes.
Let's touch on that before we get out of here.
We're just out pushing for this campaign because we're almost out of time, guys. We're running out of time. You know, we don't want to see it happen. We know the rainy season's coming. We're trying to get you guys, come on, call us. Let us get up on those roofs and let's get those inspections done before the torrential rains come and all the leaks show up and everybody starts panicking at that time. That's why no roof left behind. If you call me and I can't get to you, I'll send one of my guys out. We'll get to you tomorrow at the latest. We got a big team, so we're in a hurry. And we are watching the clock. This thing will end unless we get hit with another hurricane. Who knows? We may not. But if we don't, we have 1 year. And once that year passes, this window will close very tight and hard, and it never opens back up. Right. This is a one-time deal. So it's urgent that you act now. Feel free to act now. No charge. It doesn't cost anything. And if we don't get you an award, there's still no charge. You're never going to get a bill from us. So reach out to us. 239-671-9088. Reach me on my personal email, daniel.roofingpro@gmail.com, or go to our company website to reach out at us at roofingpro.com.
Yep. So my quick question, give me a tip. Give me a tip. Okay, I just had a storm. Yep. We just had a big storm. Everybody's been hit. What do I got to do? I got roof damage.
Call me.
Call you.
Just call. Pick up the phone.
So don't worry about getting up there and trying to cover it all up.
No, don't. We'll cover it. I got tarps. We'll tarp it. If it needs a tarp, we'll throw a tarp over it until we're ready. But let's get up and make sure you're damaged.
Right.
And let's file that claim and let's get an adjuster
And
out
don't
there.
sign anything until you guys get there.
Don't sign. You won't need to worry about signing nothing.
All these guys show up. These traveling shysters is what I call them. You don't want to use those guys. You want to use professionals. Call the professional. Let them come out and let them do it. Whether if it's leaking, it's leaking. It is what it is. So there's no reason to get up there and hurt yourself.
If it's leaking, you have a roof issue.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's torn away, which sucks. Just saying.
Yes.
But we do. We have all these scam artists come in after these storms, and they just take advantage of everybody. What should they be checking for?
We hear about it every day.
Right. Ask for license. Blah blah blah.
Yes.
Show me your certification, your insurance
Licensed,
paper.
bonded, and insured. And we have a booklet that we bring to your door when we come there that shows you everything about us. And I leave it with you while I'm on the roof so you can see the history and you can look us up online. We have tons of references. I have tons of homes with the Tilcor product on it. You can go look at those personally if you want to. Tons of concrete tile roofs as well. So anyway, we're very established right here in the Southwest Florida area.
All right. So the number you need to know 239-671-9088. Because if you've got damage to your roof 10 to 1, you don't have electric or internet. So keep that number handy. Daniel, thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for being. This is a smart dude. Smart guy. I wish he was in Tampa, dadgummit. Anyway, so we will see everybody next week. We got we have a lady coming on next week that's going to teach us how to be a little more zen, a little more business professional zen. So we'll see everybody next week.
Bye bye.